In this video, we will talk about how to convert decimal inches to fractional inches. So let's say that we would like to write 6.788 inches as a fraction. Or in other words, we want to write this as 6 inches and then some fraction afterwards instead of 0.788. How could we do that? Well, the first step is you need to decide how precise that you want to be with your fraction. So for example, do you want to write the fraction to the nearest eighth of an inch, or the nearest 16th of an inch, or the nearest 32nd of an inch? So for this example, let's just say we want to write 0.788 to the nearest eighth of an inch. To do that, all you have to do is 0.788 times 8 over 8. So the trick here is when we're multiplying by 8 over 8, this is just the same as 1. So we're multiplying by 1, so we're not changing the value of 0.788 at all. But what we'll find is that we'll be able to write this answer as a fraction with 8 as our denominator. So if you multiply 0.788 times 8, you get 6.304. So that's our numerator, and then our denominator we said is 8. Now we want this number in the numerator to be a whole number. So we need to decide, will this 6 stay as a 6, or should we round up to 7? To determine that, we can look at the value in the tenths place, so the value right after the decimal point. If this number is 5 or greater, we round up. But if this number is less than 5, we just keep it as a 6. So since this number is less than 5, we'll keep this as a 6. So we'll write our final answer as 6 over 8. Or if you want to simplify this, this will become 3/4. So one way to write 6.788 as a fractional inch would be 6 and 3/4. Now, let's say that you wanted to be even more precise. So let's say that you wanted to write 0.788 to the nearest 16th of an inch. Well, to do that, all you do is 0.788 times 16 over 16. So 0.788 times 16, that turns out to be 12.608. And again, the denominator is 16. So now to decide if we should keep this as a 12 or round up to 13, let's look at the value in the tenths place. If this number is 5 or greater, we round up. So it is 5 or greater, so we need to round up to 13. So we'll write 13/16 as our fraction. So 6.788 to the nearest 16th of an inch, we would write as 6 and 13/16. So we'll notice that this answer is a little bit more precise, so it's a little bit closer to the actual value of 0.788 compared to 6 and 3/4. And if you wanted to, you could get even more precise. So if you wanted to round to the nearest 32nd of an inch, you would just multiply by 32 over 32. Or if you wanted to round to the nearest 64th of an inch, you could do the same thing, just multiply by 64 over 64. So that's the general process you can use to write decimal inches as fractional inches.